let me intervene real quick.
Yep.
Yeah.
ESPN did a series on this right here. Playground
Oh yeah.
basketball is dying. And they interviewed some legendary hoopers that went to the Rucker and the Philly Parks and the Chicago Parks and the Cali Parks, and they were all talking about their particular. And they have little clips. I can't read it all, but what I will do is I'll talk about what Bob Huggins said right here because I want to get
Oh
Sean and
yeah.
Av's opinion on this. Bob Huggins talks AAU versus playground hoops. You
Mm.
better be wise to listen to him. So this is one of the quotes out of that article. I'll just read it real quick. Quote, I don't think they know how to play, Huggins said. It isn't their fault, he says. But it's the reality of the times. I think they play all of the time, but they don't, Huggins said. It's kind of long and complicated, and I'm not trying to kill AAU because I think it has some good. But I think when you used to have to go to the playground and play, you had to win or you had to sit out 4 and 5 games. The older
Mm.
guys expected the younger guys to pass them the rock, screen, guard their men, and do all of the dirty ball things, and they were going to shoot the ball because they earned it, inferring that the older guys were usually the best scorers. You learn how to win. Quote, I think when you go out there and play 3 times a day and you get 2 Whoppers with cheese and fries and a shake and pizza afterwards, whether you win or lose, it takes away from the ultimate goal of the game, which is to win. I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't have nobody buying me pizza if we didn't win. I just I just think it's a product of older guys used to help the younger guys. Now they're never around. You drive by courts now. This is interesting. You drive by
Mm.
courts now, you don't see anyone out there playing. It's just a different culture, I think. And in fairness, the athletes are bigger, stronger, and faster. That's better. It's just the idea of how to play sometimes and how they play sometimes that baffles me. What are your thoughts on that?
Have go
Because
first, Av. You
he
got
made
it.
a lot of points that are very interesting
Yeah.
about the playground ruggedness that prepares you for college and pro life, high school life, versus the AAU stuff that's here now. Not to take away from it, but you guys go ahead.
Hmm. I mean,
Okay.
there's a lot of truth to that, man. There's a lot of truth to that, and I experienced that with my son. You know what I mean? I think he benefited a lot from being at a young age and me taking him to spots to play with me against grown dudes when he was younger. But at the same time, yeah, like and a lot it's not like back in the day, man. I remember as a child, you know what I'm saying, when I was a youth going to the park, I had to sit and wait. Cause you know what I'm saying, you call next, and I might, you know what I'm saying. And if it was someplace they didn't know me when I was little, I might not get in there. You know what I'm saying? I had to
Mm.
argue to get on the court. You know what I'm saying? And wait 4 or 5 games. But
Mm.
and like Huggins said, when I did, you know what I'm saying, before I made a name for myself with those particular individuals. I might shoot 2 times. You know what I'm saying? I
Right.
gotta
Yeah.
pounds. I gotta block a shot and D up before, you know what I'm saying. I get an opportunity to prove myself on the offensive end. But I think AAU, I think the whole AAU culture and the youth coming up now, they're getting more reps. Technically, they're more sound. You know what I'm saying? Jump shots look better. The handle is better. Like that aspect is better because they're basing everything on what we learned before, but it's in a more refined and a more controlled environment that they're learning it in. But and I saw this, and I'm not shitting on all the AAU before I even say this. I'm not shitting on all AAU, not shitting on all the AAU players because some of them have, a lot of them obviously have that drive and that competitive nature. But a lot of that street ball mentality of giving it all, competing. Oh, I got elbowed in the face. I'm bleeding under my eye because I caught an elbow from a big man. But I don't care. I'm still going to the rack. I'm still gonna try to boof it on his head. You know what I'm saying? A
Yeah.
lot of that is missing because that competitive nature isn't there. And I'm not. And again, I have to clarify that. I'm not saying that about all AAU teams because a lot of AAU teams are good. A lot of AAU teams are instilling good values as far as basketball into their players. But there is definitely a culture of like it's a showcase. You know what I'm saying? It's an all-star game in a sense. You know what I mean?
Oh,
And yeah, he's definitely on point about that.
Yeah, man. Li Mass man says loving the show. Appreciate you, my G. Appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Share the show. Share the show.
Thank
Come
you.
on back if you want. Next week you can come on the show. I'll put the letters on the bottom, and you could jump on with us, man. And I'll be a regular with us on the show, like Don and Sean and Smiley and so many others. Chevy that rock out heavy with us every week on in the bonus. Let me ask y'all a question. Were any of those? What did y'all think of Gilbert Arenas' take of the Euro game and the rules that were bent? Wait a minute, and the rules that were bent at the point in time when they were bent, that took hand checking away, hip checking away, aggressive defense away. A lot of those things he kind of said were ushered in because they wanted to go global with the game. What do y'all think?
I don't think that's necessarily specifically because for that. Like I don't think that was the goal. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Okay.
But I think the intention behind all of that is like every evolution of the NBA, man, is always to make the product more offense, more TV friendly. Everybody likes to see buckets. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so if you look at throughout every generation, man, we couldn't, you know what I'm saying? These dudes were slapping the ball. Then they allowed to carry a little bit. Then now they, you know what I'm saying? You could almost football, like tuck it, damn near. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah.
You know what I mean?
That was a hard whistle about 15 years ago. That was a hard whistle on you.
Yeah.
AI and them couldn't do that.
Now
Because they coming like this. They coming in with cuff it like under the elbow. Y'all saying like somebody did it on chapter 22. The dude did a move, and then he came, and the guy was trying to get the ball, but he had it like this, and it just kind of got his step off. So I get what y'all saying about that, because sometimes people take one more step to the right, or one more step to the left than they're supposed to, and the ref act like they don't see it. But you know, it's like 3 or 4 refs, so it's like how y'all don't see that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Again, it's with the steps. There's no more footwork.
Yeah.
They're making up their own thing now.
Yeah. But I mean, like every generation, like back in prime Jordan. Remember the 7 3-pointers, the however many 3-pointers he hit against Portland? That year they had moved the 3-point line, and nobody talks about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Moved the 3-point line closer to make scoring go up. And everybody's 3-point shot jumped up. Everybody's 3-point percentage jumped up. And all of a sudden Charles Barkley all of a sudden is hitting threes, and everybody's like, "Oh wow," you know what I mean? Yeah, they moved it in a foot and a half. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, foot and a half.
And then it got too crazy. They moved it back. You know what I'm saying? But and they do all this stuff. You know what I'm saying, to try to increase scoring, make the game prettier. You know what I'm saying, more TV friendly, and so on and so forth. But I think maybe. I don't think it was done necessarily with the removal of hand checking, making things less physical. I don't think it was done to purposely make it easier for Euro players, but maybe it did. I never thought of it like that. And
so y'all think Gilbert Arenas was a little loose with the comment, or was he always
loose? That's what he does.
Well, we know he be on one sometime, but a clock is right twice. A clock is right twice a day. So
yeah.
Right. But he's the last guy. Him and Kobe is the last of the Mohicans of us, of the Jordan era. Mm-hmm. So they have points, They seeing it. Even though they was in high school and stuff like that, they the last of the Mohicans. They're like, what, 95, 96. Gilbert Arenas is the last. Then he come 2000 and what, 3, 4, 5? Mm-hmm. That's the last of the Mohicans. So they looking at the game. That's why he was like he averaged like 40 points. Like he was like, oh, y'all don't want me to go in the All-Star game? Okay, I got you. And he start averaging 40.
Yeah.
You understand? These guys know lateral. They know up and down, and they know lateral, trilateral.
Mhm.
That's what we didn't know. We just was doing what the hell we was doing. We was bugging out.
Right. We was,
But
making up our moves, man. We was making up our own moves, putting our own,
yeah,
experiments.
we had
figure out how to
imagination.
experiment. Yeah.
We come from the last of the imagination. These guys are mathematical with the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, he knows what he's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Let me
You know what I
let me
mean?
throw this last caveat in the conversation right here about whether or not they taking who out the hood, right?
Oh,
So this is in relation to AAU ball, right? So this is Silver, right, the commissioner. And what if the NBA developed its own player pipeline? So in this particular article, I forget where this is from. You guys could look it up. And this is back in 2021, 2022, where he talks about he wants to bring players right out of AAU into the league, and he's going to lobby to bring the age limit down from 19 to 18.
I mean, they actually kind of did it, bro.
they did already. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just saying this is kind of research that I found that nobody really talks about, and they, put this in motion back in, 2020, 2021, 2022. Yeah. And now we have the current game. We got bad ratings. We got a lot of other things. Everybody's trying to figure out what's actually happening and why it's happening. Go ahead, Av.
No, I was gonna say they kind of sort of did it because they did the G League Ignite. I had to look up the name real quick, but they did the G League Ignite, and basically a couple of the players in the NBA right now are from that team. If you look at dudes like Jalen Green played for them, Scoot played for them. Scoot was the youngest, I believe. He came in and he was like 17, I think. And they didn't play for him, but the Thompson twins, Amin and Osar, played. They were on not on the Ignite, but they were on a pretty well known AAU team. I can't recall the name now, slipping from my head. But these are dudes that they're like this generation of play. That generation of players are like 1,000% products of AAU, and and you could see it on the court. Some of them have the fundamental. You look at Amin and you look at Osar, have stupid fundamentals. You know what I'm saying? And a defense first guys, and they're gonna. I feel like Amin is gonna definitely be a superstar in a couple of years. He's already a star now, in my opinion. And then you look at Jalen, who is incredibly talented. He's wild turkey, yo. He's taking 30 shots a game, and you're gonna see beautiful highlights, and you're gonna see incredible dunks. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But
you told me that. You told me that. I'm not gonna hold you up.
Hey, he's nice. He's actually on a hot streak now. Right now, in the last few games, he's been on one, and hopefully that holds up. But he's been known. You know what I'm saying? He's kind of known for the 5 for 16 game. You know what I'm saying? So
John Starr.
And like that, like with the article, okay, cool. In the NBA, Moses Malone was the first player. Well, no, ABA. Moses Malone was the first player ever drafted out of high school. The first ever. Okay? Yeah. And he went to the ABA Houston Stars, I think the team was, right? Yeah. And then after Moses came, you had a few other players, as we know. You know what I mean? You had people like Tracy McGrady. You had LeBron James. You had
Kevin Durant. Kevin Garnett.
Kevin Garnett, right?
Kevin
Garnett, right? So and Kobe, right? So with that said, so this is like you guys were saying before. This is something they already started. They started way back in the 70s with that. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is that. Go ahead. What you was gonna say?
I was gonna say, but what they're talking about is making a direct pipeline specifically for the NBA.
Correct. I get that.
Well,
right.
As opposed to not even drafting dudes, but like kind of like what they do in Europe. Like what they do in Europe, these dudes if you're an athlete, whether it be soccer, whether it be tennis, whether it be basketball, You know what I'm saying? You go to what's kind of like a minor league school, but like a minor league of the big professional team. So if you play soccer, you play for the club team for Real Madrid when you're dumb young, when you're like freaking 15. And then as you get older, you move up and move up and move up. Bro, Luca was, I don't know if you remember, but before the draft. Yeah, Luca was 16 years old, and they played the NBA played against some FIBA stars. He was 16 guarding Russell Westbrook, bro.
Yeah, there's a clip
just like Wemby.
There's the clip circulating about that. I was going to show it, but yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Like Wemby. Yeah. All of them have done it. Like the 2000 kids. Yeah, that's when that became a big thing with FIBA. FIBA been that. Drazen Petrovic. Listen, man. Sabonis' father. They've been doing.
Yeah,
they give them jobs and suit and tie jobs, so they don't have to do all that. What they do here, like they be like, "Oh yeah, you go and see the Make-A-Wish Fund and all that." No, they ain't doing that. They going right to work. They're in a cubicle. They on a computer. They making a separate salary from what they getting playing ball. Yeah, that's deep.
Like
that's why
Wembanyama, when he was young, he played for Tony Parker's squad that was run by Tony Parker.
Yeah, 13.
You know, deep when he was a kid, right? So he's coming up, and you get to a certain age. Okay, now you're on the big boy squad. You playing against grown men. You know what I'm saying? So think about it. Luka was the MVP and the champion of the EuroLeague when he was like 18
years old,
right? And then people, and then when the draft came around, and it was between Trae Young, it was between, as far as who's going to be the first pick, Ayton, DeAndre Ayton, and Luka, and they were like, and Phoenix decided, we're going to pick DeAndre Ayton because he played a year in college, he's good. I'm like, man, this man just dominated the EuroLeague at 18 years old.
Right. That's
easy number one pick. Like
that's like a no-brainer.
Yeah. But
that's a rough league. That's a rough league, They still play hard defense.
And you guys saying that kind of bring me to a point I want to make, right? Mm-hmm. So my thing is this. I could kind of see why Sean feel the way he feel from a different angle about, them taking the hoop out the hood type of thing, taking away the opportunities for the neighborhood kids of America to have an impact on the NBA, right? Because you're making a room for the European players to make that impact, right? Because for whatever reason, you want to swing that way because there's more money out in the world if you make the world feel like it's more included, right? Mm-hmm. All of that stuff, right? But where they're hurting us here to put us in a position to be not as competitive as we used to be back in the 70s and 80s and 90s, right? Just to narrow it down, is that by allowing kids to jump, allowing kids to only be a mandatory 1 year in college before they get into the pro draft, you're not giving that kid enough experience with certain type of defenses where they can learn more basics to play better in certain type of systems. Because you go to each college, and each college has its own culture and its own system, right? Yes, sir. You play for Jerry Tarkanian, you was definitely going to get run and gun. You know what I'm saying? But you go to North Carolina, and a guy like Air Jordan is going to average 15 points a game because he's playing his role. You know what I mean? So there's different types of training that prepare these young men for basketball in the big league. You know what I'm saying? But also, too, so it's hurting the ball player coming into the league. They're not as mature-minded as you can see with Ja Morant. Great on the court, totally not great off the court. All right?
No, he's not professional. No.
Yeah, you didn't see Michael Jordan waving guns in 1980, whatever, because his parents had a lock on him. Dean Smith had a lock on him. You didn't see Magic Johnson waving like a gun-toting hooligan neither. All right? He had to put the sign of the cross before he stepped out of the house with his mom. Right? So we have this dynamic. But also, too, it hurts college basketball culture. I don't watch college basketball no more. Why? Because you only have 1 year to understand a team. You can't even make dynasties anymore. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody's jumping to the draft the very next year. And I'm not mad at them on a financial side. I'm not mad. But I'm under this idea. Since the 80s, we always said the college basketball player should get some kind of finance for playing ball in college. Not on par with an NBA player. I'm talking at least 30 to 40 grand a year. 30 to 40 grand a year. Considering what college basketball was making off of these 4-year dynasty players. Patrick Ewing. You know how much money Georgetown made with those Nike gray and blue sneakers? Why would anybody want to wear those Nike gray and blue sneakers? Those were ugly colors. All right?
Oh my God.
Patrick Ewing. Because of Patrick Ewing.
Yeah.
Colors. Let's be real. Who wants to wear that? Patrick Ewing sold those sneakers, and he never got one red cent for selling them gray and blue Nikes. That was
Yeah, the Terminator.
Free. Yeah, that was free. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
You know, there used to be a rumor that DC, there was a strong rumor, and they wrote it up one time that they thought DC was getting paid under the table. Like, you driving around Syracuse with a Jeep. And I'm sitting there like, so what? So what? When you look at, man, when we go to the Orangeman game, the stadium was jam-packed because of Sherman and General Douglas and DC, not because of Jim Boeheim, not because it's just Syracuse with these orange shirts. They made the orange shirts cool.
It had a hell of a team.
Ronnie Cycli, Sherman Douglas, Stephen Thompson. I know the names. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're not seeing the bigger picture. We could have kept the American basketball culture strong if you just pay those college players a little bit. You know what I'm saying? 20, 30 grand a year in their pocket. All right. And we would have longer college dynasties. We'd have players that are better prepared for the NBA. The draft would be worth something. It wouldn't be like a guess who you're drafting. But they crippled us so bad over here that now we have to look to the Euro League. That's guaranteed. We know those guys are trained. To you guys' point, we know those guys play pro.
Yeah, that's facts. So you heard it here first, folks. Lux said, "Give them young men their money." NIL ain't enough. They need the big bucks, yo.
And get us back to mandatory. And we'll do mandatory 3 years in college if you pay them. Now we have some dynasties again.
So let me ask y'all a question. Y'all think this segment deserves a part 2?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Because we got on it too late. Yeah. We my boys need at least $5 million a piece for putting them Barclays out there and making the culture of the shorts, kulaks, Michigan. I'm talking about the Fab Five. They need that money.
They do.
Yeah. Because if it wasn't for them, your boy wouldn't be getting paid off. That coach wouldn't have never got paid all that money for them Nikes, wearing Barclays and all of that. And then there was wearing number 9s. Come on, man. Let's get it out of the way now.